I've been asked to give a more thorough explanation of the data I have available on Dauntless. All these pictures were taken from my Samsung monitors, running Coastal Explorer navigation program. The actual maps are CMAP, and the magenta line is the track of Dauntless in and out of Newport Harbor. This shows Newport, the channel, through the bar of the Aquina River, and our route about 4 miles upstream where we anchored for the night. This spot was mentioned in Active Captain as a good spot to anchor, and it really was. This picture shows our actual anchor spot. Dauntless is in green. We had arrived about 2200. That little black arrow to the right of Dauntless is the true wind speed and direction. I love that little arrow because it always gives me an idea what the winds are doing. The Maretron data is now overlaid in that big blocks on the left. The top row is all wind information. Other weather information is just below. Then the water tank levels are below that. Now, in the top row, the wind information, the wind speeds in the middle, this is all true. And the left is the wind direction. On the right is the apparent angle of the wind. As we look at the bottom row, we see pitch, speed over ground, speed through the water, and the roll of the boat. Now, the pitch and the roll are what I look at a lot because it shows that also this picture shows the change of conditions we had earlier and why we decided to not depress into the stronger head seas and strong winds we were getting. Here it is in more detail, and I'll explain. Now, this picture is actually taken 6 hours later. This is when we were leaving that morning because you can see our speed over ground is 8.2 knots, and that's because we had a 2-knot current behind us pushing us out down the river. That 6-hour quiet period was when we were anchored, but then if you look at the 12-hour point, you can see that's where we turned. When the pitch got all the way to almost -5 and +2, that's a pretty miserable ride. So that's when we decided to change course and stop for the night. As soon as we turned to the right to head for the coast, the seas were now on our beam, so pitch was substantially reduced. Now, roll increased a little bit, about an extra 5 degrees to the lee side, but decreased a little bit to the port side, which was also sort of normal, and as I had put out the paravanes. Most importantly, the pitch was substantially reduced to plus or minus 1 degree, which is pretty normal, and significantly much better than the -5 to +2 that we had earlier, which is actually quite miserable. Thanks for watching this little explanatory video. The next video will have our actual departure from Newport, and then our arrival over at the Columbia River Bar into Astoria.